Good day everyone, and welcome to Smart City Plan. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play a little bit of Smart City Plan because I was getting to the point where the Business Magnet series was getting to be a bit of a grind. So we just need a bit of a break from Business Magnate for a little while, spice things up a bit. We'll do a bit of Smart City Plan, which, by the way, is also made by Ambiera, the same people who made Business Magnate, which you will see very quickly when we start the game. And we're going to have a go at this for a while, and then, we might even mix and match between the two, just to break it up a little bit so it doesn't become too stale. So, Ambiera was released in 2020. I have played a little bit of the game just to get the hang of things and figure out a few, ideas so I don't look like a complete klutz when I start the game. So we're going to get into this and have a look at this game. So we're going to start new, and yes, that's the game I started up to try. And we're going to be grumpy, of course. Would we be anything else? And, ooh, no, I think normal for a first game, because the bigger it is, the longer the game goes. So we're just going to start that off. And of course, we need a name, which is Grumpota or Grumpville. No, Grumpota. I like Grumpota. Okay, so that's Grumpota, and we need, as we did in Business Magnate, we need a logo, and we even have the same symbols that we had in Business Magnate. So, what is that? Is that a deer? An elk? You know what? We've got it, whatever it is. Congratulations, you are now the mayor of Grumpota. Now, your goal should be to create residential and industry zones, industrial zones, roads, transport systems, and take care for your citizens. Obvious. Grammar, boys, grammar. Tutorial. Now, believe me, this is a very basic tutorial, so we're going to do it. And you'll see as you go along that, it pretty much leaves you to your own devices. See the buttons here? See these buttons? The game runs in real time. With these, you can always start, stop, and fast forward the gameplay. You liking this? Tutorial. See the mail button there, which is different to here? See the mail button there? Click it to read important instructions and help on what to do next. Got it. And that's it. That's the start of the tutorial. It comes back and gives you a few other hints, but that's pretty much it. So here we go. You can see up here, over here, over here, and then down here, very much Business Magnate. Start your city, define residential zones. Right, so I'll just close that and come down here for a minute. So this is your build tab, basically, with all the things that you get to build. And over here, of course, is your mini-map. The graphics, it's basically Business Magnate. So the map is not going to come as a surprise to anybody, just that what you're playing on it is a bit different. So much like SimCity or, say, City Skylines, the principle's the same. You define zones, which you have here, and the guys who are coming into your city build, abandon, and do all that stuff that they do. And you're the mayor, so you don't get to choose what they do. You just get to run the infrastructure. That's pretty straightforward. You need roads, water, power, transport. Now, transport's a bit different in this game to, other city simulator games. So we'll get to that. And then you get services and special industries which enhance the citizens' experience and allows you to grow and develop your city in different ways. Now, a couple of things that I just want to discuss before before we get underway, which I learned from my first exercise. So far in the game as I played it, unlike the other simulators, you don't need a transport system that runs off the edge of the map, because there is no trade, as far as I can tell, there is no trade with, foreign cities, as it were. So you don't need to worry about that. You do need to worry about water and sewage and power. And water and sewage is interesting because when I first did it, I put a water pump there and a sewage pump over here. It wasn't the same map, but that's, I'm just, as an example, that far away. And then from the sewage thing, pollution built up. So what I did was I removed the sewage and I took it and put it somewhere else in a completely different water system. And after a little while, most of the pollution caused by the sewage went away, but not all of it. And so it still caused me a problem. So I'm not going to make that mistake in this game because I don't want to permanently pollute a water source. I'm going to put my sewage over here and have it all on its own, and then keep the water area pristine. Now, as far as I've been able to determine, you can output sewage in a small area, but I don't know if a small area allows you to maybe even drain it dry if you put too many water pumps in there. So I'm going to use this for the water supply and this one for the sewage. Now, the other thing is I want to try a little bit something different to what I normally do, because normally I build, squares and rectangles and things like that. But this time, in those squares, I want to leave a gap for some later expansion of like train lines and different things like that. So I want to be mindful of that, and I want to leave that in at the beginning. And I also want to leave a lot of space just in case, because we don't know what's coming. Like, for example, here's the power supply. These are your two power supplies and there's your power lines. But you don't know how big these things are, right? So you get these different power plants. Interestingly, though, it starts with wind turbine and not coal power, which historically was not accurate, but there you go. And then when you get to things like buses and trams, well, they're completely blacked out at the moment. So I have done a little bit of bus, and I have done one train in the game I played. Not quite what you would expect, actually, but we'll get to that in due course. So the first thing we want to do is do this. To define where your citizens can build their houses, you need to define a residential zone. Click here on Zones and Residential Zone. Then drag a 5x5 square area on the map. Okay. All right, so just pause it there for a minute, because I'm not dragging a 5x5, because I learned something very valuable the first time I played this through, and that is to do with power and how cities grow. So instead of trying to explain it to you, let me show you. Oh, and while we're here, let me point something out to you which is really interesting. Residential, high-density residential, not yet available. Commercial zone, blah, blah, blah. Industrial zone, you all know this if you've played Sims. The office zone, which is a variation on commercial, but different. Now, the agricultural zone, very importantly, this is an alternative to the industry zone or industrial zone. And that means that we can switch this around a bit. And if we have demand for industrial, we can just put in agriculture and not suffer the pollution penalties. So there's that too, which is important. So that's just what I'm saying there. So come on, let's go build something. So first of all, let's put the water pump in. The sewage, or the water drain pipe as they call it. Now, isn't that interesting? Sure, he said. I don't know what would happen if I put that there, for example, whether it would just run out on the ground and cause all sorts of mayhem. I haven't done that, but I might do that one day. Okay, now we're going to build some zones, but I'm not going to lay out the zones first. I'm going to do the roads first, and I'll explain to you why as I go along. So the suggestion was that we go zones 5 by 5, except there's a small problem with that 5 by 5 recommendation, and that is that when I played the game, I found that you could definitely, both on residential and high density residential, go 2 tiles away from a road. Not a problem. You could go 3. Not a problem. When you get to 4, though, you start having difficulties because it seems like the game bases things in 3s. And you'll see this when we lay the pipes. The water pipes have a range of 3 on either side of the pipe. The roads seem to have a range of 3 as well. Now, unless there's a building that takes a 5, which I haven't seen yet, but I have seen buildings take 3 squares, right? 3 squares. And I want gaps between where I put these things. Now, I'm going to leave a lot of space over here for other things, which I'll talk about in a sec. But right now, we're just going to randomly start here, say, for one of any other description, right? I'm going to build a road. So this is the corner. I'm going to go 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to have a gap, right? And the gap is for rail or something else I might want to run down there. Then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and put the corner in. So we should have 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, right. So we go 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, road. And according to my theory, what we should have are 4 squares of 3 by 3 with a north-south and an east-west, whatever that is. And we're going to do the same over here. So we've got, actually I wonder if we should run a, no, I don't think we should. 1, 2, 3 and a gap. 1, 2, 3 and a road. 1, 2, 3 and a gap. 1, 2, 3 and a road. Did they end up on different things? No, they didn't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. That's what we're doing there. Now, next thing I want to do is run a power line, and just humour me on this one for a minute. We're going to run the power line because we're going to put all the power up against the edge of the map. Did that? Okay, I'm trying to keep this on the same line. And I'm going to leave 4 in there because I have no idea how big that is. And I don't know if these guys need roads, so I'm not putting one in. I'm going to run the power down there. And then I'm going to run power from here down to there. Ah, the straight lines of it all. Very good. I know I gave up a space for a water pump, but I might be able to deal with that later on. Okay, so we got water going in. Now what we don't have is actual pipes. So we're going to do actual pipes. Now we know that it goes 3, right? So 1, 2, 3. The problem is that the way I've got this structured, it does ignore the center. Now if I go to put say, for example, we have subways here and hypertubes. If I go to put a subway where I've got a water pipe, I have no idea if it works or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the cost of putting in the water pipe by running the water pipe along the road, because nothing else is going to go on the road except for the water pipe. Okay. Oh, I didn't even plan that, but I'm going to take it. Yeah, you betcha. Now this one, we are just going to do this, and we're done. And that's it. That's the water infrastructure done. Now, there is no power going down there. And the reason there is no power down there, apart from this, is because I don't want these things running all over the map. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do. And this is something I learnt which is very useful. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. When you start off the game, if I build all of the zones for all of the residential that I want, the demand will randomly pick where it builds houses. So we've got the power coming in here, and we might very well find that it randomly builds houses over here if I put the zones over here. What I want is it to build houses in limited areas so that the power gets distributed all the way around to here. And then from here I can run a power line straight down to there. Once that's done, then we can fill in the demand and we control where people are building their houses. So without further ado, without pressing the wrong button, let's start the game. The water pump also needs power. Just talked about that. So be sure to connect it with the power grid using power lines. We're on it. But even then, look. Okay, see what I mean? It's randomly built it out there, no power. But we'll get there in a minute. Oh, congratulations. Basic infrastructure for your city. Try to grow your city on your own. Be sure to read the email. See, that's the end of the tutorial. Beautiful, right? End of the tutorial. There you go. Some buildings don't have power. Got that. More industrial zones are needed. Got that. Now, just pause for a second. Up here is the demand. Okay, let's do it. This is money. Show me money. I thought I saw the there you go. Finances. What did I start with? Oh, I started with a loan, right? 100,000. No, I didn't. Didn't start with a loan at all. Ridiculous. This is money. This is population. This is happiness. This is the unemployment rate. And these are the demands at the moment. So you've got residential, commercial, and industrial. So there's high demand for everything. So we're going to continue to lay down some more residential till we get to over here, and then we're going to put in our power lines. The cunning and devious nature of it all. Now, the other thing is that I don't want our residential areas to start to become overly crowded. So I'm going to leave a gap so that we can put some road in. Actually, that's not entirely true. No, I'm not going to do that. We need to start making room for, okay, we can get some more residential in, which we're going to do right here. And then we're just going to plop down the, and in fact we'll Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. We did it anyway. All right, well, if you're going to be like that, let's do this. That's better. There you go. Done. Okay, so now that we've done that, we could build these out to the 3 that we had in mind. So that's 3 there, and that's 3 there. And again, it's like controlled growth, which is not a bad thing. We've got water in, we've got electricity running on. Now I'm going to start laying out some more of our city. And you'll see I have a bit of an idea when we get on this path. So I think in here we're going to put the business zones, which are the commercial and the office. But we haven't got to office yet, so we're just going to put in the commercial. And we're going to run that as a 3. So that 3 there is going to be commercial. Now, I'm not going to extend this one here. Okay, not extending that one there. Because we don't want too many intersections because we end up with traffic jams. So let's just put in, because I want to keep the city growing, and the guys need work, so we're going to give them that to get on with. Now, we're going to put the 3 there, and then I want to have a commercial zone. Commercial zone, an industrial zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave room in here for, I don't know, whatever we need. Railway lines, subways, you know, train stations. Because if you look here, you get train stations. North, south, east, west, large and small, I'm imagining. But no idea how many tiles they take up, right? So we're going to leave a gap in here for all of that. So here's what we're going to do. Are you feeling it? Yes. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can run track down the middle, and we could possibly put other things in there as well. And then we're going to run the road across here like that. No, we're not. That's ridiculous. No. Sorry, what have I done? I've done the wrong thing. Okay. Oh, yeah. The OCD just kicked in there big time. So we went 1, 2, 3 there. Then we go 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we go 1, 2, 3 and a road. And we go across there like that. And then what we have, yes, you see, we have industrial, like that. Is that right? No, that's right, like that. There you go. And I dare say no power. Now in this particular case, I am okay to do this, because I don't think we're going to have anything right there on the edge of town. And we also need water. Always with the thinking hat on. Yeah. Cool. Well done, everybody. And no demand, 0 unemployment. Very good. And some mail. Unemployment causes slow population growth. A lot of citizens are unemployed. Not anymore, buddy. This causes slow population growth, and the reputation of our city is shrinking. Where is our reputation? Does it show us our reputation anywhere? What's that? Hide show buildings, policies, finances, display mode, I don't know. Weekly report. Here is your weekly report. We made $4,656 and we spent $193,000. Well, that's a balanced budget if ever I saw one. 35% crime rate? Public transport coverage is 100%. That's clever. There's no public transport. Some buildings don't have water access. Done that. Some buildings don't have power. Done that. More industrial zone. Oh, yeah, you're right. Residential and industrial. Sure, we can do that. In actual fact, we can do that. Because we have the technology. And we're going to do the same things we did down there. And we're going to put more residential in because the people demand it. Yep. And there. Yep. Okay. Oops. I'm just going to brag about how neat and tidy and square this all looks. Yep, neat and tidy and square. Just what the doctor... Ooh. Needs more commercial zones. Well, aren't you the growing little economy? 1, 2, 3. Yep. I think this is going extremely well so far, you would have to say. Well done us, maybe. Why are there 2 there? Hold on. Did we? No, it just didn't build a big one. Okay. See, this is the problem right here. You rude person. Okay, I can fix that problem by doing this. Now see, this turned up once before actually. Here it goes. This is a house. It has no road access. And yet, this one, oh I see. Yeah, this one is bigger. Okay, that's a single dwelling. You know what, I'm going to leave it there. You sort yourself out. There you go. Done. It does happen. It does happen. We'll just put another couple of little ones in there. All right, unemployment is 1%. They're sending us mail. Yeah, we know that. The weekly report. This is a bit better. Still losing money though. Income this week 23,000. Expenses 66,000. Oh, what happened? Somebody's cheering us. No electricity. Get over yourself. New buildings available. Oh, bridges and bus stations. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. So we got new buildings. And some buildings don't have power. That's you because you're annoying. Yes, you are. You're annoying. Oh, we need industrial. All right. This is good because this is growth. Growth is good. Growth is good. Okay, we'll just double check this. Actually, let's do this. We'll just put a little row in and see if we can get small industrial. Oh yeah. Okay. Very good. And residential is up. Okay. Okay. That's going to annoy me. Ooh, an Orwell. Okay. Well, no water. Rubbish. Why is there no water? That's why there's no water. Because we didn't lay a pipe. Okay. That's looking a bit better. So if we can get to the point where citizens demand buses. Hang on. What's that saying? Citizens now have a demand for buses. Be sure to build their... Right, thank you. Some buildings don't have water access. Do now. Be sure to build this to let your city grow and flourish. Okay, buses. It says new. We have buses. Station where buses will stop to let out or accept passengers. Build at least 2 of these to enable bus transport. All right, so, oh, that's a good coverage. Whoa, oh, yeah, okay. 1. That won't cover everybody, but if I move it up to here, it will cover the business as well. And then we can run it to industrial. Okay. The one thing I don't like is that, and you can't flip it around, can you? Yeah. So it's worth pointing out that when you put bus routes in, you don't get to control the route that the buses take. They work that out for themselves. So I think I'm going to put you here. All you have to do is 1, 2, 3. All you have to do is put them in, and then they work it out themselves, or the game works it out for you. So we put 4 buses in. Now just watch this when I turn it on, and instantly there are buses. Now you can't define the routes. You don't know how it goes, but it goes. So there you are. That's just what it does. Okay, so, and now we need more residential. So we're a growing concern, which is good. So we'll put those in there. Very good. Now see, if this one here had turned into a double like that one, it would have access to the road. But because it's still a single, it doesn't have access to the road. And we need more commercial. Industrial. Let's do that. Get things rolling along a bit. Nice to put a 4 tiler in. That's good. And that doesn't have road access. Well, okay. So road access isn't 3, it's 2. Ah, tricky. All right. Well, there you are. You learn something new every day. Let's leave it and see where we end up. I don't think it's that big a deal, actually. Oh, wrong one. No. Is there an undo? Hold on. Is there an undo? I don't think there is an undo. No, certainly not when it starts building straight away. There isn't. Yep. No, there is not an undo. Okay, there we go. And residential is now the big issue, which is fine. We can do this. And that's it. We've used up all our residential space. Very good. Okay, I think we're off to a good start, everybody. More industrial zones. Building has no road access. Day 20. Oh. New buildings available. Right, let's check this out. Our city Grumpota has now reached a population of 300 or over 300, and new buildings are now available. The high density residential zone. Multi-story buildings to be built here. Okay. I don't think I want to do that just yet. I think I want to build some more residential first. Normal residential. So we've got the bridge. We've got the street. I'll tell you what, let's go over here for 3. 1, 2, 3. And the space. 1, 2, 3 in the space. And we can't. I'm not going to go that way actually. No, I'm not. And we're going to go and build some more residential zones. Like this. And put in some more pipes. Oh, like that. Okay. Just to keep things moving along a bit. And ladies and gentlemen, I think with that in our mind, we have done a pretty good first episode for Smart Business Plan. So I hope you have enjoyed this branch, if you like, into a different game while we have a break from Business Magnate. And I hope you get a lot of fun out of watching this, and maybe even look at the game yourself, because it so far seems like a pretty fun game. Like I said before, not a serious city builder, but a fun city builder. You know, have a break, bit of fun, all good. So thank you very much for coming along today. I do hope you stay well and look after yourselves until you come back to the gig channel, where you never know, I might even just be hanging out waiting for you. So until then, I'll see you all later. Bye bye.